All right. And one of you can tell me whether my screen is visible or not. Yep. Is it visible? Good. Great.
Visible.
That is visible. Oh, that's going deeper and deeper and deeper. All right. Okay. Um, great. What I think we did reading exercise the last week, and this week we're going to move forward. And I think for 2 weeks we're going to focus on the same topic. Now, in English language, you know, as far as in English language, as far as the spoken discourse is concerned, you also need to know that what is spoken discourse. Spoken discourse is when you speak in English, and there's also something we call written discourse, is when you write something in English. Now, whether it's a formal English or an informal English, it doesn't matter much. But if you write something and when you speak in English, two things are very, very important. Number one is the way you use the connectives, and number two is the way you use the transition words. Now we need to focus on what are connectives and what are exactly the transition words. And that's very common. That's very, very common and natural. Connectives are actually nothing but conjunctions. We all know about it. But when we use conjunctions in writing, we always come across some errors. And we're going to talk about those errors today, along with the way to use the conjunctions. So we're going to refresh the memories of actually school days and the past. And then later sessions, we're going to talk about how to use these conjunctions even more effectively in formal writing. So, for example, we all know that the word and, A and D, is used to talk about two things together, or is used to talk about two similar things. But and is used to talk about many other meanings, which we are not very, very clear about, and which you even don't know just because the teachers during your school time failed to explain you this, or they were not actually teaching you this precisely. So the idea is to go deeper into how to use these connectives, and then the idea is to understand what are transition words. I call them, I call them conjunctions. I also call them connectives. I also call them cohesive devices. Now look at the word that I use, cohesive devices, right? These are actually devices. They make the sentences, the words, the clause, the phrases meaningful, right? And I also call them transition words. They also do the same thing. There are transition and cohesion for different purposes. You know, uh, there are different purposes. Like for time, there is a different purpose. For cause and effect, there is a different purpose. There are different words we use for cause and effect. There are different words we use for reason. There are different words we use for similarities. There are different words we use for dissimilarities or dissatisfaction. And these are all cohesive devices. But today, let's first start with at least conjunctions, and let's understand what are the different types of conjunctions and what are its common usages. Now, when I say common usages, it's something we already know about. But I'm going to focus precisely on one aspect, and you will come to know about that aspect very soon, which we always either misunderstand, or we don't understand, or we either use it in an inappropriate manner. So get ready with your pen and paper and tell me if you're ready in the chat box, or tell me when you're ready in the chat box very quickly. Fast. And when I say ready, or when you say ready, you should be ready with a pen and paper. So please. Now I can see only a few ready. Yeah, Utsav is ready now. And how about Layla? Are you ready, Layla? Yeah, Bautik is ready. Layla is ready. Okay, Diviraj and everyone. Fine. So let's start with conjunctions, and let's start with the first type of conjunctions. Now, there are two types of conjunctions. Well, actually, there are three. The first type we're going to talk about today is what I call coordinating conjunctions. And these are commonly known as fanboys, Fanboys. And why they are commonly known as fanboys? It's because of this reason. F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, or yet, and so. And that's why I call it fanboys. And it's not just I am calling it, it's commonly they are known as fanboys. So let's quickly look at one by one words, and let's understand the similarities and dissimilarities and some rules, and one very, very major aspect, one very common error. Let's focus on that. So let's look at the word and first. Before I start with the discussion of these individual words, let me tell you one thing. This is not the only way to use. What I'm going to discuss today is the simple way of using these words. There is another way. I mean, there are many different ways. If I talk about the word and, there are 6 different meanings of this word. It's not only connecting two things together. There are 6 different meanings. But in today's session, I'm only going to talk about the generic meaning, all right? The only idea. So let's talk about and. Now, we know very commonly that the word and is used to talk about two things together or two positive things. So let's put up an example. I ate muffin and I drank some tea. Now, one question to everyone. There is one thing in this sentence which some of you may think that it's not necessary. It's okay if it is there and it's okay if it is not there. What do you think that thing is? Can you tell me what is that thing? What is that one uncommon thing that you can see in this sentence? Okay, Keval says I. All right. Devashish also says I. Bautik says I. 2 times the use of word I. Okay. There is one more thing other than I. Can you tell me what is that? Oh yeah, there goes, comma. Now you know what? When we use comma before words like but and so and for and yet, there's always a misconception because there are many books they use commas, and then there are books, there are stories, then sometimes you read there is no comma, and there is a big confusion about this. That why there is a comma and why there is no comma. So we're going to work on that confusion also together. But first, let's understand this. Let's make this sentence into 2 parts. So if we divide this sentence into 2 parts, I have 1 and 2. So I say I ate muffin and I drank some tea. Now, question number 1 to everyone. Do you think both these sentences, if I remove the word and, do you think both these sentences are complete ideas? Yes or no? They are separate ideas and they are independent ideas. Tell me yes or no. Yes. Okay. So it's a yes. Another question. What do you think? When is a sentence a complete idea? When can you say that there is a complete idea in sentence? There are 3 very important things that each sentence must have. What are these 3 important things? You studied this in grade 4. एक सेंटेंस में 3 चीजें हमेशा होनी चाहिए, तभी वो कंप्लीट आइडिया हो सकता है. So what do you think these 3 items are? No one? Seriously? Yes, got it. Utsa got it right, I think. So there is a subject, verb, and object. So if you check these two parts, it's a complete idea because both the parts have a subject, both the parts have verbs, and both the parts have object. So I ate muffin is an independent sentence, and I drank some tea is also an independent sentence. Now comes the idea. The idea is, the rule is, when on both the sides there are complete sentences, complete ideas, before a conjunction, you need a comma. I will repeat again. And while I'm repeating, your eyes should be on the screen. When you have two complete ideas, number one, I ate muffin, and number two, I drank some tea. Complete ideas. You always have a comma before a conjunction. Tell me if you understood this. Tell me if you understood the reason of comma. So that's only Keval and Leila understood. Okay, Utsav and Sneha followed. All right, okay. Now let's focus on what, earlier, what Bautik, Devashish, Keval, and, all of them have said something. They said, let's remove I. So let's remove I from the next sentence and say, I ate muffin and drank some tea. What happens then? Which idea is incomplete? The first one or the second one? So if I say, I ate muffin and drank some tea, so what do you think? Which one is the incomplete idea? The second one. The second one is an incomplete sentence. Now, the rule number two. When you have an incomplete idea, then you don't need a comma. So now let me show you an example without a comma. One more example. You can see some place and some people together. Let's see the example. I went to mall and met my friends. Now, in the second part, the second clause, the subject is missing. So the idea is incomplete. So when you don't have two complete ideas and a conjunction in between, you don't need a comma then. But if I write a sentence, the same sentence as I went to a mall and I met my friends, then what should be there before end? Yeah, a comma. So then the comma comes. So here you don't need a comma, just because the next part is not a complete idea, right? And that's why you don't need a comma there. So this is one very, very, very common misconception about the commas, when we are using the conjunctions. And many people are not aware about it. Some people, they just use comma on and off. They are not even sure why are they using it. तो अब थोड़ा ध्यान से अगर आप लिख रहे हो इंग्लिश में, when you are writing in English, it's very important. Yeah, when you are speaking, it's okay. I can understand. But when you're writing, particularly using conjunctions, then when there should be a comma and when there should not be a comma is very important. Let's look at other words and focus on the comma. But. Now, the word but is used to talk about contrast, opposite things, right? It's opposite to and. Let me show you an example. I ate muffin, but I didn't like it. Now, can someone tell me why there is a comma there? An easy question, I think, for everyone. Can someone tell me why there is a comma before the word but? Both have complete meanings. Yes, Keval is right. Both have complete meanings. Look at it. I ate muffin, but I didn't like it. So if I remove the word but, I ate muffin, I didn't like it. Complete ideas. And so there's a comma. Let me show you one more sentence without a comma. I went to mall, but Still didn't meet my friends. So, an incomplete idea. But there is one word which is, which is weird, and it increases the curiosity. Which is that word in this sentence? Can someone tell me? There you go, still. So remember one thing. You can always use still with the word but. So if you're using the word but in a sentence, you can use the word still, right? You can. Okay. And here you don't need a comma because the second part is not a complete idea. So you don't need a comma, right? So I hope the comma idea is very, very clear among everyone, and that misconception and the inappropriacy or a misunderstanding about that thing is removed. Now let's look at the other words. Or, I think this is a very, very common word, and we use it. Yeah, when do we use the word or? You should tell me this now. Now, I don't think I should tell you this. We use the word or when we want to give what? When we want to give? Yeah, when we want to give options, or when we want to give choices, right? I can say choices in other words, or I can say options in other words. So when we want to give choices or options. So very simple meaning. Two very beautiful places where we can't go these days. Anyways, so I go to the beach, comma, or I go to the lake. And now I don't need to tell you why there's a comma there. Fine, you already know why there's a comma. Because on both the sides, there are complete ideas. Let's go to the next word. So, now, can someone tell me when do we use the word so? Or what is the meaning of the word so? Or what does the word so shows? Can someone tell me that? It's actually easy, but at times it's very critical to understand. Yeah, can someone tell me? Let me put a sentence in front of you. I didn't eat lunch, so now I'm hungry. Yeah, Leila says conclusion. Conclusion is one of the ideas. Any other ideas that so is showing? Can someone tell me that? Yeah, it's showing reason. So Keval, is it only showing the reason? Is it not showing the result? Okay, Sneha says to that extent. Okay. So Keval, what if I say it's showing the reason and the result? Am I right? I mean, if I say it's showing reason and results, am I right when I say that? Yeah, I'm right, right? So let me just put it in a different words now. When you see I didn't eat lunch, so now I'm hungry. So I didn't eat lunch is one thing, and the other thing is I'm now hungry. So there is a reason, and then there is a result, right? I think it's called cause and effect, right? So the cause is I didn't eat lunch, and the result is, the effect is, now I'm hungry. And I don't need to talk about the comma thing. The comma thing now, it is very clear in our mind. But in the above sentence, there is one thing very weird, or there is one thing that is different. Can you tell me what is the difference? Can you tell me that? Did you observe that? Or can you observe that? Now. Okay, Sneha says now. Okay, Sneha, let's remove that word from the sentence or from our view. Then again, what is one thing that you can see that is very, 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 very observable? Can you observe that? Can any one of you observe that? There is one thing that is clearly visible. If you can separate the sentence and read both parts separately, eat. Okay, eat. So why eat? Why do you think eat is something that's weird? I don't know. I don't think it is. Anyone else? Any idea? Okay, let me give you a hint. Observe the sentence structure of both the sides. Yeah, comma is fine. Comma is okay. Comma is totally okay. But there is something wrong with the structure. Not wrong, but something new. Can you observe that? Let me give you a hint to everyone once again. Leela, Sneha, and everyone, Utsav, Devashish. Let's focus on the sentence structure of both the sides. Can you see any difference now? You guys, you're taking more time than required. Did is used with I. Yeah, so what? There's nothing wrong in that. Did is used with I. It's okay. That's wonderful. I mean, there's no problem in that structure, but there is some difference between both the structures, both the sides. No idea. Okay, I'll count to 20. Negative sentence. That's fine. Negative is fine. Let me just tell you this. On one side, it's using past tense, and on the other side, it's using present tense. This is one example of mixed tenses. Many students ask me, sir, can we use two tenses in one sentence? Yes, you can when you're using conjunctions or connectives or cohesive devices or transition words. It's very common to use two tenses together, right? But you can also use same tenses. So let me show you an example where you can use same tenses. Look at that. I study a lot, so I get good grades. So in both the sides, there are two same tenses. Yeah. Did you guys understand what I was trying to explain to you here? Two different tenses and the idea of using the word comma. I mean, using comma. Yes, everyone? Tell me if that is very clear for everyone. Yeah, so now if some people ask you to test your brains about the knowledge of English, and then they ask you weird questions just to torture you. Sometimes I always see students asking faculties to just test the knowledge of faculties. Some students think that, oh, let's test the faculty, and there's nothing wrong in testing the faculties. Some students ask these questions to the faculties. Sir, can we use same tense in one sentence? And the way the students ask sometimes confuses the faculties themselves. And I have seen many times that is happening in the class. But it's all right. Now you can tease others. Don't do that if you're planning to. Anyways, okay, I have one more word to share with you, and that's for. Now, you know what? This is so surprising because the way to use the word for, the way to use the word for is different than what I'm going to share today with you. And let me show you the example first. No, let me tell you when to use. The word for is also used to talk about cause and effect. Now, this is new. This is totally new. The word for is also used to talk about cause and effect, just like so. But if we go back and look at so, then let's check. I didn't eat lunch, so now I'm hungry. Now, can someone tell me where is the reason and where is the result? Can someone tell me, is the result first or the reason first in the sentence? So reason first and the result next. Yes, the reason first. Now, just little change, a little change when you're using word for, but the meaning remains the same. Now, when you're using the word for, the result comes first and the reason goes next. Let's check. The result first, reason next. Check the sentence. I'm hungry now, for I didn't eat lunch. See, this is different, right? This is different because we have always used the word for, with the meaning of kiske liye, kisi ke liye. For example, I have brought this for you. Oh, for. Now that's different. That is a different meaning. Lekin for as a conjunction has totally another meaning. some people think that this is weird, sir. ये English में बोलते हैं तो कुछ जब अजीब ही लगता है, but it is अजीब because its meaning is अजीब. So I'm hungry now, for I didn't eat lunch. Okay, let me give you one more example. I failed an exam. Now that's a result. I failed an exam for I didn't work hard. See, there is a reason is next. लेकिन इसमें अगर मुझे so use करना है, तो I can say that I didn't work hard, so I failed an exam. That is easy. But when you're writing formal language, formal English, this is impressive, right? So let me give you one more example with so, and you can change it to for. Okay. My wife is not at home, so I am cooking tonight. Can you change it to for? My wife is not at home, so I am cooking tonight. Can you change it to for? Can you use for and rewrite the sentence in the chat box? And very quickly, I'll repeat it again. My wife is not at home, so I am cooking tonight. Guys, I'm waiting. My wife is not at home, so I'm cooking tonight. Oh, this took so much time. I don't know why. Was it so difficult to understand? I'm cooking tonight, for my wife is not at home. And look at that. Look at Keval. Look at Devashish. They didn't forget to put the comma there. That's good. That's great. That is very great. Right. Okay. So once again, there's a comma and, of course, mixed tenses. And this is what it is. It's different than so. I mean, it has nearly the same meaning than so, but it sounds different, it looks different, and it is different. It is formal. This is a very formal language. Yes. So tell me, anyone, were you aware about the way of using the for in this way? Tell me honestly, and tell me if you do know. Okay. No. Utsav says no. Keval says no. Sneha says no. Bautik also. Devashish, Ayush. Okay. Leila, what about you? Ritik also was not aware about this. Leila, were you aware about this? Fred, okay, Fred, I think you're facing some network issues today. Oh, repeat, sir. The question was, were you aware about how to use were you aware about using the word for in this way? Well, I hope the answer is no. Oh, yes, Fred, I know that because I can see you going and coming back and all that. So yeah, Diviraj did not. Fine. So this is, that's why English is not just interesting. Sometimes English is, curious language, because, at times when we speak in English, we think that, okay, we know everything. No, see, I'm teaching you not to make you feel that you don't know anything. I'm not teaching you to make you feel insulted, right? I'm teaching you to make you understand that there are concepts in English language which can actually expand the way you use English now, right? Leila, once again, the question was, were you aware about the way to use the word for in this manner? Has anyone taught you how to use for as a conjunction in this way, in this manner? Anyways, that was a question. I hope I have made it easy for you to understand the question. So the idea is to learn every time something which we have either missed during our learning, or which, maybe our school teachers didn't actually teach us, or maybe they failed to explain us, right? So that's why, these are all little things, like the word, like the comma, the punctuation mark comma there. Now, it's so important when you write something. It's definitely not that important when you speak, but it is so very, very important when you write something in English, right? And that too when you specifically write for exam or for test where they are actually observing your language, then yes, there's a problem. People would doubt your ability to communicate in English, whether it's written or spoken. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's go next. Let's look at the word yet. Now, let me tell you, yet is equal to but. There is no difference. Literally, there is no difference. But let's look at the sentence structure. She's only 6, yet she can do calculus. So that's the contrast. Okay, of course, on both the sides, complete ideas, and that's why there's a comma. But if you remember, just before a few minutes, we have discussed that the word still can be used with the word but. Of course, it can be. There is another word that we can use with but and yet, and that is anyway. So, because but and yet has the same meaning, still and anyway are the two words you can use with but or yet, right? It's up to you. So you can say she is only 6, but she can anyway do calculus. It's right. Or you can say she's bad at soccer. She's bad at soccer, yet still she plays it, right? So you can use still and anyway anywhere. So that's the word but. And the last one, nor, but I think the most difficult one is this, because you will understand it very soon. Nor is a word that we generally use to talk about two negative things. Look at the two negative things. Now, this is separate. Okay, I have not right now added the sentence. So I don't drink coffee and I don't drink soda are the two ideas I want to connect. I want to put it in connection, right? So what I'm trying to say is, okay, I don't drink coffee and I don't drink soda. Now I will use the word nor. And then I say this: I don't drink coffee, nor do I drink soda. Question number 1 to everyone. Can you tell me one weird thing that you may have noticed in a sentence? What is that? Can you tell me? Or can any one of you tell me? There is definitely one weird thing in a sentence which cannot go unnoticed. Do. Okay. Passive. Diviraj, you can call it passive, but it's not passive. Problem here is, if you can look after the word nor, I'm not using any negative words, and altogether my sentence is in the question format. Diviraj, now I'm correcting you. It's not passive, it's question format. Do I drink soda? It's a question format. So that's the rule. The rule is, when you're using nor, the next part becomes the question format, right? Whenever you are using nor, it should be in the question format. Okay, so let's look at it. I don't drink coffee, nor do I drink soda. Now, you don't need the word not in the second part, because nor means negative. So, of course, the reason of comma is very clear. But you cannot do this. I don't drink coffee, nor do I not drink soda. You cannot add another not there, because nor means not already. Only thing you need to take care is, nor के बाद का जो sentence structure है वो question format में जाएगा. The only thing you need to be worried about is the structure after the word nor takes the format of a question. Let me give you one more example. I haven't gone to Paris. I will not go to Paris. Can you connect it using the word nor and take care of I will not go to Paris? Okay? Can you do that? Can someone do that, please? In the chat box. Take care of the rules. Nor के बाद का जो statement है उसमें not नहीं आएगा. All right? तो next statement में आपको यही ध्यान में रखना है. I will go to Paris. I will go to Paris को आपको फिर convert करना है into a question after the word nor. So can you do that? I have almost answered you. I have almost answered it, but can you write it? I haven't gone to Paris, nor what? What do you think? Can someone do that? Okay, I haven't gone to Paris, nor will I go to Paris. Good. So Utsav and Keval are right. So I haven't gone to Paris, nor will I. Oh, look at the word that I have used. Nor will I ever go to Paris. I can use such words. I can definitely use such words when I'm trying to mean something, right? So मैं कभी गया भी नहीं और कभी जाऊंगा भी नहीं. Sorry. So that's what I'm trying to say here when I'm using the word ever. All right. So I think we have used all the conjunctions. Yeah, we have understood almost all of them. And I'm going to give you a minute, for this word to understand, nor. And I'm only going to give you a minute, okay? A minute. Okay, so yeah, I think that is enough for today. And are you guys now ready for some exercise? Because of course you have done this, so you now need some exercise to, challenge what you have learned just now. So yeah, let me know if you're ready. Ready? Okay, there you go. Okay, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment, and I will be with you. Okay, I think I might have misplaced the file. Okay, just let me check the drive. Just hold on for a minute. Maybe two. Because I'm going on my ID and I'm going to get the file from there. So it might take a while. All right, so now I'm sharing a file with you in the, right, you cannot edit it. You can only view it. Let me just change the settings. As a viewer, I think it's done now. Yep. I'm sharing a link with you in the chat box. Let's open the link and tell me once you're able to access the link. There you go. Just let me know if it is accessible. Fast. Yeah. So what you're going to do now is, this is going to be your test kind of a thing, not a test, but a practice kind of a thing. So you're going to take it as an exercise. You will write it on a piece of paper, and you will then upload it, upload the images in the Google Drive. Okay. This is easy. And well, let me share with you things which students have already done. Let me just show it to you so that you know that I'm not bluffing. uh, yeah, there you go. So look at this. These are the images sent by the students, and then the PDF file, they convert it into a PDF file, and then they send it to me. And yeah, so this is what you're going to do. So you're going to write it on the piece of paper, and then you will share it with me in this format. Okay, that's what you're going to do. Yes, agree? Will we all do that? That's a question to everyone. Yeah. Okay. All right, then go ahead. You have your exercise right in front of you, and let's start. You have 10 minutes time, and I think that's enough time. Let's go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll share the link to a Google Drive wherein you will upload the images.
Okay, I think it's already 1:12, and we don't have enough time to actually, complete that exercise. But it's all right. Uh, I will share with you the Google Drive to upload the pictures during the day today, so that you can have that time to finish the exercise given. Let me share with you the attendance updating form, so that we are on the track with the attendance. I'm sharing the link where you can go and write your name and enrollment number. There you go. And yeah, I think after that you can leave the session. All right. Thank you for joining the class today. I hope you have learned something from today's session. And it's always wonderful talking to you guys. I always enjoy it. I think Ritik joined again. So Ritik, for you, I'm sharing the link again for the attendance. All of you can enter your attendance. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining. You can leave the session after you enter the attendance. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me in today's session. Thank you. Thank you, Ritik. Yeah, you're welcome, Ritik. Also, welcome. And I hope you guys have learned something from today's session. Abhishek,
Thank you,
Devashish,
sir.
Leila, I may not be able to hear you because I have no output, but let me just join from another device. I don't think it's required now. Yeah. Yeah, Devashish, of course. All right. Okay. All right, guys. See you next week then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.